Hello, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel. And today I'd like to talk about building faith. Faith is the greatest asset one can have because according to your faith, be it done unto you, as it says in Scripture. So if you have faith, then you will find yourself manifesting anything that you want, no matter what it is. No matter if it's health, wealth, love, happiness, or manifesting those things for other people, weather, anything in this world that you can possibly think of. If you build your faith, if you make it your sole priority to build your faith, then you can get whatever you want and you will never have to look to the left or the right to get what you want. You will have it deep within you. And no matter what anyone says, no matter what anyone tells you is right and wrong, you will know inside your heart that you're doing it right and that you can manifest whatever you want. So how do you build faith? This is the sole focus of my life. Now at this point, I know that I can manifest whatever I want. I've manifested thousands of things before, and I've systematically proven to myself that I have it within me to get whatever I want. But I didn't get there overnight. In fact, it took me quite a lot of time to do it. But if I had done it right from the beginning, then I would have been at this point where I'm at now, which is all faith, probably very shortly after I first began, right? Not 8 years. So in building faith, one of the key tools that I need, which is number one, is a journal. Some type of manifestation journal to keep track of what I want, or of what I've manifested. So in this journal, what I will do is I will list my desires, I will list the technique that I've used, and then when it happens, I will check it off as it happens and I'll write the date. Now, I normally add notes to what it is that I've manifested or what I'm trying to manifest, as what I'm going to do, how I did it, the exact technique, how long I did it for, how many days I did it for, how long I thought about it, did I obsess about it, all these different things. Because when I do that, if I keep track and if I approach this in a systematic way, such as just a systematic way, logging everything, you begin to prove to yourself and convince the ego mind that manifesting is real. So the battle always only exists in the ego mind. The ego mind is the part of our mind that exists in this 3D world. So it's continuously fed from senses and then therefore logic. Now logic states that certain things are impossible. It uses the laws around us, physics, to say this is going to happen, this isn't going to happen. It uses probability. So the world tells us that this is impossible. That's how I was brought up. This was all a bunch of BS. This was all fake. And until the time I was 21 years old, that's exactly what I believed. I said this was all nonsense. That's what we're taught. We are taught through Newtonian laws, which state that things are going to happen in a specific way. Statistics regulate the way things are going to happen, and we have a shot in the dark of doing anything beyond average. But as you continue to log these things and push yourself to the limit of faith and expand upon your beliefs by setting into motion different imaginal acts, you will begin to prove to yourself in a systematic way with evidence that your ego can see that the truth is that everything exists from us. This world exists from our mind, our assumptions, our beliefs, our feelings, our inner conversations, our imaginal acts, our daydreams, or what other people tell us that we are allowing into our mind, right? So what you should do then, first of all, is understand exactly the correct way to manifest. Like there are many different ways. I'll touch briefly upon a couple of them. But the idea, first of all, first and foremost, is that we must impress the subconscious mind. We must essentially make our subconscious mind believe something. Now, here is the excellent thing about the subconscious mind. It is non-selective. It doesn't care what we give to it. But it takes what we give it and it sets that in as a pattern and it records it and it continuously creates it. So it cannot tell the difference between something you've created in your imagination and this physical 3D world and what we're being told by others. So for instance, if I created a conversation in my imagination that says that I'm talking to my brother about how I've just become a millionaire and about how I just bought a house and how I have a beautiful girlfriend, then it doesn't know the difference. It takes that as true. It's non-selective. So that's why we were gifted with such a beautiful gift of imagination, so that we can essentially replace the physical world with our imaginal world. And that's a priceless gift, because the subconscious mind, when impressed upon, will manifest whatever it is given in this world. Anything. It's always doing that on a regular basis. It's been doing it since the moment we drew our first breath until this moment, from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, and even during our sleep. So what we can do then is begin to systematically test this by creating different desires. So we come up with desires that we want, okay? First of all, the best place to start is if you have a burning desire, because you can have whatever you want, but it's easiest to act on a burning desire. And when we have this burning desire, we construct some type of scene by outlining it on a piece of paper, something that would happen if and only if our desire had already been fulfilled. Nothing in the middle, nothing before, never mess with the middle. Take my word for it or learn yourself. Only go to the end result. And if you do this, you can construct that scene and bring into your imagination in first person point of view that scene you've just constructed. If you do this with sufficient force, if you feel it real, if you think from the scene itself, it will manifest eventually. Now, every seed has its own appointed hour. Everything you impress upon the subconscious mind has its own appointed hour. They're each made up of different things, so we don't know when it's going to come. We don't know how it's going to come, but it will come. And if there's anything in between us and that manifestation, it will evaporate. It will dissolve. It will be removed. So we never have to worry about how. We never have to worry about what's in the middle. We only think of it as if, okay, if I was now that person, what would be happening? How would I feel? What would I see? What would be going on in my life at that moment? And if and only if the desire had been fulfilled. And we take that scene, we condense it, and we put it into our subconscious through our imagination. Rather, we bring it into our imagination and we play it in first person point of view. Because remember, the subconscious always has been and always will be replicating what we give it. So naturally, it's replicating what we're giving it now, which is like my set, my camera, my lights, the microphone. And it's first person right now, first person point of view. But if I close my eyes and I bring a scene into my imagination, I want to be looking at it from first person point of view. I want to be in my own body so that that can replicate. Now, if we start, now I would recommend testing things like this though, because prove it to yourself, right? Don't take my word for it. There's so much information out there. But I can promise you I've tested this thousands of times before, and I've tested it against everything else that I've learned, which I've read thousands of books. I won't even name the authors and the lecturers and all these things, but all of them. And if you begin to test this, if you begin to plant these seeds, so to systematically do this, you would take the same technique. You take the same technique. You choose one technique, this technique. You bring it into your imagination. You feel it real. You drop it, right? That's the end point of that. You use it on like 5 or 10 different things, and you keep track. You imagine it 10 days in a row, you keep track. You imagine it 20 days in a row, you keep track. You imagine it until it happens, you keep track. Did you have resistance? You keep track. This is the way you will manifest, and you will begin to see what works. Look at it as what works for you rather than does it work. Because I promise you, I stake my life on it, this works. I stake my life on it, I'm not an idiot. So, I'm a software engineer. I took computer science, physics, mathematics in college. I did not believe any of this stuff at first, but eventually over time, practicing, keeping track every single day, writing a list of things I want. That's one technique. As if I already have it, though. Always as if you already have it. Writing it down, imagining something, inner conversations, just feeling it. Try everything that you possibly can. Always in the end result, always in first person, and keep track of everything. You will begin to prove what works. You will begin to gain confidence. You'll begin to manifest faster. Your thoughts will be more clear, and you'll get whatever you want. I promise you, this is the surefire way to get what you want. There's no question about it. I wish I had done this from the beginning. I hadn't. I had to go through my journey to get here, but that's why I'm telling you guys all this stuff. Cut out all the learning time and just cut to the chase. Convince your ego that the imagination creates reality, that the subconscious creates reality, not the things that happen in this world. Okay, everyone's acting based on your assumptions. Everyone is you pushed out. This whole world is you pushed out. So prove it to yourselves. Well, anyway, thank you for watching. Seriously, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Go to the website sovereignmind.com and register to be a part of my email list and get unlisted videos. Stay tuned for more. Thank you.